Okay, we are going to start the MPS 1 class, Unit 5. It is especially related to the equality. And before I am going to start the class, let us know the structure of this unit. This unit is structured as introduction part, equality versus inequality concept, struggle for equality concept, what is equality, dimensions of equality, legal equality, legal equality, then equality and inequality, struggle for equality, what positive and negative equality, Lux's views on equality, Barker's views and others' views on equality, dimensions of the equality, various types of equality, relationship between equality, liberty, and justice, equality, Marxist concept of equality, then Marxist equality, Marxist democracy, then the summary and conclusion. So I am going from the first one, introduction, from the introduction part. Come to the introduction. What is equality? When we discussed about the equality, we should keep in mind all the human beings are same in the world or not. Are we different? If different, why? Then we will find out the difference may be various type. It may be natural, it may be artificial. What is the natural? Natural means when how the people's born by nature. The system of born is same to the all human being, but related to their shape, related to their development, we have seen various type of differences. Some peoples are white, some are black. Peoples born as men and women. Some peoples are tall, some are short, some are fat, some are thin. If we see these are the natural inequality, natural differences. But these natural differences do not affect our life in every step. By these differences, we have not faced any problems, but we face the problem of differences when it is created by the society, created by the legal authority, created by the political system, created by our psychology, and created by our behavior. So, what are the new things of inequality? Or what are the new things of inequality come into exist in our society which affects us from the ancient time to modern time? So come to the words as given by your textbook. Equality is more confusing and baffling concept than all other concepts like justice, liberty, rights, property, etc. So we have not get a unique definition of equality. During the last 2000 years, many dimensions of equality have been elaborated by the Greeks, Stoics, and others. Understanding the concept of equality, we must know about the liberalism, Marxism, and others too. To understand the concept of equality, we must know the concept of feminism, we must know the concept of environmentalism, also we must know about other differences which we have seen in the society. Wait please. Then contemporary social movements like feminism, environmentalism are trying to give a new meaning to this concept. Basically, equality is a value and a principle essentially modern and progressive. Modern politics and modern political institutions are constantly subjected to social pressure to expand opportunities equally, irrespective of ethnicity, sexual identity, or age. Equality is a modern value in the sense that universalistic citizenship has become a central feature of all political ideologies in modern industrial democracy. Again, Again, equality can also be taken as a criteria for radical social change. It is related to the development of democratic politics. Modern societies are committed to the principle of equality and they no longer require inequality as automatically justiciable. Then come to the concept of equality and inequality. We can understand the concept on the basis we can understand the concept equality on the basis of the meaning of inequality. Equality is a relative concept. The demand for equality has always been against the prevailing inequalities of the times. The existence of social inequalities is probably as old as human society, and the debate about the nature and cause of inequalities is an ancient topic of political philosophy. What it is meaning? It means that the concept of equality and inequality has a long history. It is started from the time of the society began. In classical Greece, Aristotle, in his book Politics, distinguished three social classes and noted the significant differences between the citizens and slaves, men and women, in terms of the rational and civic capacities. If we see that sometimes inequality was also justified. When we see the writings of the great political scientist Aristotle, in his book The Politics, he said that all peoples are not same. Only a group of peoples are allowed to take part in the decision making process or in the management of the state. He categorized the peoples like citizens and slaves. This is the difference. Men and women in terms of rationality and civic capacities. He believed that all peoples can't think in the similar way. All peoples are not equal, some are unequal. Participation in police was restricted to the citizens only. Similarly, in our Hindu society, according to the classical text, the society was divided into four varnas or categories: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. All rights and duties were based upon their classification. If we see the inequality in the Hindu religions, then we will find out, we able to see it, that the Hindu society, Hindu religions divided the peoples on the basis of their activities in four categories. And all are not equal. Some are in the higher positions, higher rank, and higher status, and some are not in. Some are in below rank, below status, and below positions. So we very easily know the we very easily know about these four varnas: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. Then, during the medieval period, it was the ancient period concept. If we see in the medieval period, during the medieval period, feudalism, legal privileges were based upon the status and birth. So, if we see the ancient period, which is based on the concept of religion, and on the basis of the capacity, the classification on the basis of male and female. But in medieval period, it becomes the different, it becomes in another way. During the medieval period, we have seen, under the pressure of feudalism, legal privileges were based upon the status and birth, who born in which family, which group, royal family, feudal lord's family, or in the workers family or the peasants family. In short, Different types of inequalities have been long enduring, giving rise to the notion that the inequality is inevitable in social relations. If we see, then from the ancient period to till today, inequality is inevitable in the society. In fact, the pre-18th century teaching argued that men were naturally unequal and that there was a natural human hierarchy. So, before the 18th century, it was believed that by nature human beings are unequal or unequal. Different ideologies justifies inequality on the ground of superior race, ancestry, age, sex, religion, military strength, culture, wealth, and knowledge. If we see where the peoples are different, where the peoples are unequal, then if we see the inequality in the society, then we will find out that on the basis of their race, on the basis of their family, on the basis of the age, on the basis of the gender, on the basis of the religion, on the basis of the followers or military powers, on the basis of the culture, rich culture and poor culture, wealth, having more wealth and less wealth, knowledge, more knowledgeful than the less knowledgeful, etc. According to Turner, inequality is multidimensional and the elimination of one aspect of inequality often leads to the exaggeration of other aspects of social, political, and cultural inequalities. If we want to solve a problem related to the inequality, then another problems come into exist. In fact, all human societies are characterized by some form of social inequalities in terms of class, status, power, and gender. While studying the concept of equality, the contradictions between equalities as the general value of modern society and inequality at a practical level as a fact of human society must be kept in mind. When we study the various social problems, political problems, economic problems, then we must keep in mind that before we must keep in mind that to justify, to analyze this concept, we must think about the concept of equality and inequality. So, if we see, there's a long history of struggle for equality. Let us discuss how the concept equality developed, struggle for equality. The history of the Western political ideas, the doctrine of equality is practically as old as its opposite, that is inequality. The Stoics concluded that all human beings possess reason and thereby all mankind is differentiated from other animals and is united. Humanity does not admit of degree. As such, all men are equal as men. The Stoic philosophers gave the idea of universal brotherhood and they were opposed to slavery. If we see the concept of equality, then we have seen in the very ancient period, from the time of ancient period, people are thinking about the establishment of equality. The promulgation of the law of the people by the Roman Empire was another way in which Romans attempted to give effect to the principles that all men are equal, and as an extension to that, they conferred citizenship both on the individuals and entire communities. So in Roman period, the citizenship was given to individuals and to the communities as a whole. They were the believer of universal brotherhood. The climax reached in 212 AD. Climax reached means the concept of the struggle for equality. It reached in the climax in 212 AD when a notable edict of Emperor Caracalla conferred citizenship to the Rome upon all free inhabitants of the empire. What was happened in this period? The citizenships the citizenship was given to the peoples, to the inhabitants of the Rome. From the 5th to 14th century, from the 5th to the 14th century, the demand for equality was a cry against serfdom, medieval gradations or rank, and hereditary nobility, and the equality of career opportunities in the church. So inequality first we have seen in the church also. We can say in the religions, in the among the religions, inside the religions, we have seen the inequality or the category or the hierarchy among the peoples, which was based on the concept of hereditary principles. From the 15th to the 17th century, the cry for equality was against the landowner status and religious intolerance. What is this period? 15th to 17th century period, we can say it is the feudalism's period. In this time, the poor peoples, the land laborers, they were in favor of demanding equality from the landlords, from the landowners. They felt that the landowners and the land laborers were same. So they have get the right of equality. The movement of Renaissance and Reformation raised a powerful voice against the legal privileges of the clergy and nobility based upon the birth and demanded equality by birth. The affirmations that all men are born equal was the figure in the manifesto of all over the world. This period, Renaissance period, if we see the Renaissance period, then we will able to find out that in this period the concept of equality was in a higher level. Rousseau used the word men are born free and everywhere they are insane. He believed that all men are equal by birth. As a result, peoples demanded that equality is their birthright. The revolution in Britain in 1649 and 1688, it was the Glorious Revolution. In USA in 1778 and in the France in 1789 made right to equality by birth as their central plank. So the revolutions which were taken place in England, in America, and in France, all the revolutions, they demanded the equality of the peoples, equality of the men. So equality became most popular during this period. It was the period of juristic equality based on the ideology of abolition of special privileges of the nobility and the achievement of the political legal equality with the nobility. So juristic equality, it means judicially, legally, when we think what is equality, equality means abolition of the special privileges to the special group of peoples. It means that there should not be any special privileges. The motto was all men are born equal and they are equal before law. What was the motto of this juristic equality is that the motto was all men are born equal and they are equal before law, in the eye of law. The economic and social dimensions of equality emerged during the 19th century. So before it was cultural. It was a question related to caste, community, and religions. But now, in the 19th century, the dimensions has changed. The economic and social dimensions of equality emerged during the 19th century and was the result of conflict and struggles between the capitalist industrialist classes on one hand and workers and peasants on the other. As you know, by the industrial revolutions, the peoples has been classified in two categories. One group becomes the owner the industrial owner, and other group became the industrial labor or the workers. The laissez-faire policy of the state in the economic affairs created wide economic disparities in the society. On the other hand, what was happens, the Western political system, basically the Western political system, they welcome the capitalist ideology and they followed the principles of laissez-faire. Laissez-faire principles means non-interference in the activities of the individuals. It means give liberty to the peoples. When peoples get more liberty, they think more profit and they involve in more exploitations. They becomes to be higher in comparisons to the others peoples, and they wanted to make a good status quo in the society. So laissez-faire policy encourage the peoples to become rich and poor, or to classify the society in two class. One is rich, another is the poor. As a result, along with legal equality, demand for economic and social equality was raised by liberal socialists and Marxist writers like J.S. Mill, T.H. Green, Karl Marx, etc. So, when the society had faced various problems, inequality on various grounds, in social ground, in political ground, in economic ground. So many political scientists, many economists, they tried to analyze the equality in terms of economic and social ground. Simultaneously, the demand for political equality also grew stronger. What is this political equality? It means give the equal power to everyone, equal right to everyone in the decision making process. The movement to broaden the franchise was an offshoot of industrial revolutions, which increased the social power of the urban middle class and converted a large sections of the populations into factory workers. So, in the same time, the demand for right to casting of vote, right to take part in the political decision-making process also increased. The Reforms Act of 1832, 1876, and 1884 in Britain. We know Britain is the first modern democratic country. So, how the equality concept developed in Britain, then we will find out these three Reforms Act were steps towards the political equality. The Reforms Act 1832, 1876, and 1884 in Britain were steps towards the political equality. In the 20th century, the demand for equality became more persistent. Today, it has become the sine qua non. Sine qua non means absolutely necessary. Equality is becoming nowadays absolutely necessary for the socio-economic mobility typical of a highly industrialist society. When we are under the industrialist society, now the demand for equality is becoming absolutely necessary. The national liberation movement against imperialism and colonialism, movements against apartheid. Apartheid is related to the ethnic problems, racial discrimination, socialist revolution in Russia, China, and East European countries brought the issue of equality to the forefront. Again, if we see it universally from international point of view, then we will find out that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948, extended the recognitions of equality, which had hitherto been accepted as the aim of all strata of industrialized countries, to the people of the third world countries who had been discriminated, thus contributing to the eventual emergence of an international society based upon the socio-economic equality. What does it mean? It means that the concept of equality is not only under the jurisdiction of a state. The right to equality must be enjoyed, must be gained, must be achieved by every person, not only in a society but in the all societies of the world, not inside one country but in all countries. This is the basic ideology developed under the concept of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Then, what is equality? The concept equality is relative. Relative, it means comparative, and it can be understood only in a concrete context. Equality is not identity of treatment or reward. Equality is not identity of treatment or reward. There can be no ultimate identity of treatment so long as men are different in one's capacities and needs. So, if we think that equality is an identity, we cannot say it's an identity. Why? Because the one's capacities and needs of the every man are different. Every man are different, not same. Injustice arises as much from treating unequal equally as for treating equals unequally. Injustice arises as much from treating unequals equally as from treating equals unequally. What is this unequal equally and equal unequally? It is the nature. What is justice? Justice means who should get what, it should be got by them. Give the due, give the proper due to every person. When we think that all persons are equals, then some peoples are not equal in psychologically, in activities, in thinking capacities, in hard work. So all peoples are not hard workers. Some peoples are more hard worker, some are less work. So some peoples can think in an advanced way, some peoples may think lazily, not able to go as like as the others. And if we make that who can think more, he is equal to the people who can think less, then this is also injustice. If we think that that a person may think more, so he will get special privilege, and who will not think more, he will get the lowest privileges, then it is also injustice. So the concept said that if we analyze the concept equality, it is very problematic, it is very critical, because injustice arises as much from treating unequals equally as from treating equals unequally. Most importantly, apart from the natural inequalities, there are inequalities created by the societies. Inequalities based upon birth, wealth, knowledge, and religion. Claims Claims for equality have always been negative, denying the property of the central existing socio-economic inequalities. When liberalism urged that all men are equal by birth, it meant to challenge the property of owning franchise. The moment of history is not toward greater equality, because as fast we eliminate one inequality, it creates another one. The difference being that the one we discuss is unjustifiable, while the one is create seems reasonable. When we see that in a question of equality and inequality, if we treat something inequality, if we think that it is unequal in in terms of us, then for in terms of others, that may be a question of equality. So there is also difference. We will discuss it later clearly. Then come to the positive liberty and negative liberty. Positive equality and negative equality. Like we have already discussed the positive liberty and negative liberty. Like that, there is also positive equality and negative equality. What is the positive equality? Positively, it means that the availability of the opportunity so that everybody could have equal chance to develop his personality. What is this? Positive side is that the state, the political system, the society should create such type of atmosphere where every person will get the chance, every person will get the opportunity to develop his personality. This is the equality. Give equal chance. Like everyone has the right to work. All the peoples of the Indians, they have the right to work. So this is the opportunity has been given to everyone. This is equality. This is the positive equality. What is negative equality? Negative equality means equality was associated with the end of special privileges. What is the negative? It means there should not be any special privileges to any group. You have the right to work to all. Everyone can involve in right to work. So there would not be any special privileges that only he has the right to work, you are not. No such thing. Everyone has the right to work. So you have the liberty, you have the right to work. So no hindrance, no restrictions will be imposed over you. So negative means that there would not be any restrictions, there would not be any privileges. Privileges will not be also be provided, and restriction will not also be provided. Both are based on the concept of equality. Then what is the Lasky's views on equality? Most important. What Lasky said? Lasky believed that equality means absence of special privileges. I have already said. Lasky believes equality means absence of special privileges. Number two, that the adequate opportunities are laid open to all, giving equal opportunity to everyone. Adequate opportunity to everyone. First one is the absence of special privileges. Second one is the give adequate opportunities to everyone so they can develop their personality. Third, all must have access to social benefits and no one should be restricted on any ground. I have already said. What is the third one? No restrictions. Everyone has the right to access the social benefit. What is available in the society, it will benefit everyone, and everyone has the rights to take the benefit from it. So there should not be any restrictions that you can get the benefits and you will not get that benefits. Then last one is that absence of economic and social exploitation. There should not be any exploitations. If we want equality, then there should not be any economic and social exploitation. So keep in your mind, equality means absence of social privileges. Equality means give equal opportunities to everyone. Equality means no restrictions. Equality means absence of exploitations, any kind of exploitations. Then what is Barker's view? Barker writes the idea of equality is a derivative value, derivative from the supreme value to the development of personality, in is alike and equal, but in is along its own different line and of its own separate motions. According to him, according to Barker, the principle of equality accordingly means that whatever conditions are granted to me in the form of rights shall also and in the same measure be granted to others. And what rights are given to others shall also be given to me. It's a very good definition of equality. What Barker said, that whatever rights are given to you, that rights are also with me, and what other rights are given to me, that rights also given to you. So we must think that no one is superior, no one is inferior. We are equal in position, we are equal in enjoyment of right. According to Raphael, the right to equality proper is a right to equal satisfactions of basic human needs, including the need of develop and use of capacities which are specifically human. So, other view. What is the other view given by Raphael? That equality does not only means what is given by the state. There is no restrictions, there is no special privileges, all are equal in the eye of law, everyone will get equal opportunity to develop. These are the equality, right? But Raphael said that equality, the concept of equality is based on the concept of satisfactions. How much a person is getting satisfactions. If everyone will be satisfied equally, by fulfilling their human needs, then that is the equality. When every person will get equal satisfactions with fulfilling their basic human needs, then that is the equality according to Raphael. E.F. Carritt, Carritt. E.F. Carritt said, equality is just to treat men as equal until some reason other than preference such as need, capacity, desert has been shown to the contrary. Until and unless all peoples are same, when we treat the everyone in a same way, that is the equality according to E.F. Carrick. But you should keep in mind the view of Raphael too. Brian Turner, in his book Equality, he stated that the concept of equality should be including the followings. So, Bryan, Brian Turner, Turner, according to Brian Turner, he stated that the concept of equality should include some concepts. What are those? Fundamental equality of persons. Equality means fundamental equality of persons. All peoples are equals. Number 2, equality of opportunity. Everyone should give equal opportunity to develop their personality. Equality of number 3, equality of conditions, where there is an attempt to make conditions of life equal. Equality of conditions means give the same kind of atmosphere, situations, environment. And equality of outcomes of results. Last one, number 4, equality of outcomes of results. So what are the results? Will come out from a policy, from an activities, that the results must be benefited to everyone. Equality of outcome of results. Then come to the concept of dimensions of equality. The different dimensions of equalities are, if we discussed about the equality, you must keep in mind how we can keep it in mind very easily in terms of these four dimensions. What are the 4 dimensions of equality? Legal equality, political equality, economic equality, and social equality. When people say that they want the equal rights, equal privileges, equal opportunity, these equal privileges, equal rights, equal opportunities are related to these 4 dimensions: legal, political, economic, and social. What are the legal equality? Legal equality means equality before law. It means all are equal in the eye of law. All are equal in the eye of law without any discrimination on the ground of caste, community, religion, gender, etc. And equal protection of law. Legal equality means equality before law and equal protection of law. What is the equal protection of law means? Everyone must be protected by the law in the same way, in the same manners, in the equal way. Equal protection of law and equality before the law are the legal equality. Then political equality. What is the political equality means? Giving the political rights equally to everyone. What are the political rights? Rights to vote, right to contest, right to criticize, right to governance. When every person will be granted the right to vote, like universal adult franchise, right to contest. So when everyone give the rights to take part in the decision making process according to his choice, and right to criticize. If he is not satisfied, he can say that I am not satisfied, or he may criticize the government project and policy. And last one is right to governance. Take part in the policy making, implementation, verification, monitoring, and evaluation part. When peoples are given the rights, equal rights to policy making process, implementation process, verification process, evaluation process, monitoring process, then we can say this is the right to governance. This is political equality. Then economic equality. When we say about the economic equality, then what is the economic equality? Economic equality means when peoples get the equal rights in where? right to liberty of work. Number 1, right to liberty of work. Number 2, equality of opportunity to work, to get the benefits. Equalization of wealth and income. Number 3, equalization of the wealth and income, when the property and income will be the equal in comparison to others. Apportionment of goods. Apportionment of goods means distribution of goods. Distributions of goods in a equal way. Social legislation and social service. Next one, social legislation and social service such as minimum wage, tax exemption, unemployment benefits, free public schooling and scholarship. The economic equality means that there should be social legislations and social service which must allow minimum wage, equal pay for equal work, same pay for same work. Tax exemption so everyone can sustain in this society. Unemployment benefit, if some are becoming more rich, more benefited, more in a higher positions due to his employment, then there must be situations to give unemployment benefit. Free public schools, if somebody can teach their students in the private schools, then some others should be given the opportunity to teach their students in public schools. Then minimum standard of living, when everyone will able to maintain the minimum standard of living, then that will be the economic equality. Matter of status and matter of property and income, the status and property concept should be equal. There should not be any discrimination on the ground of status and property. Then come to the social equality. What is social equality? Keep in mind, social equality means class, caste, religion, language, gender, education, health, etc. So social equality means abolition of all kind of discrimination. Abolition of all kinds of discrimination based upon caste, creed, religion, language, race, sex, education, etc. Then another one, social equality. Inside the social equality, another one is promote equality among the different caste, class and race. All castes are equal, all class are equal, all race are equal. Such type of ideology should be promoted. Then emancipation of the women as so far as equality in property and voting rights is concerned. Give the, we can say, the gender equality. Gender equality is a social equality, guarantee of gender equality. Then relation between equality, liberty and justice. Just think about the differences first. The liberty and equality are opposed to each other, has been an important current of early liberalism. Classical liberalism gave so much importance to the liberty that equality became to slap of it. So the classical liberalist group pay importance on liberty rather than equality. Early liberal thinkers like Locke, Adam Smith, Bentham, James Mill, Tocqueville felt that this should be minimum restrictions on liberty of the individuals. There should be minimum restrictions on liberty. In the name of equality, there should not be maximum restrictions, there should be minimum restrictions. But equality can be enjoyed with maximum restrictions. Lord Acton and Alex de Tocqueville insisted that equality and liberty are antithetical. The desire for equality has destroyed the possibility of having liberty. If there is a more tendency towards getting the equality, it may destroy the concept of liberty. The outcome of economic competitions, though unequal, is benevolent and progressive. If we think that there will be competitions is supported by the concept liberty. Liberty is in favor of competitions, whereas equality is in favor of cooperations. If we pay more importance on cooperations, there would be the less chance of progression. There will be less chance of development. Then in political field, liberty is associated with the individual and equality is related with the society, social intervention. Any attempt to remove inequality involves considerable social political intervention to equalize conditions and remove existing privileges. It is inappropriate for the state or some other body to interfere in the life and property, life and liberty of the private citizens. If we think about the equality, the political system or state must interfere. But if we think about liberty, the state or political system should not interfere in the personality development. Liberty and equality are incompatible. Liberalism stands for liberty. Equality is desirable only before law. Political equality should be limited to right to vote and elections of the elite. Social and economic equality, insofar as it increases the power of the state and is threat to the liberty. So till here, what we have understood that the equality can be maintained in a society through cooperations, through law, through restrictions, and through abolitions of the privileges. But liberty means it is the guarantee the liberty, guarantee the rights of the peoples, no restrictions, and allow the peoples to develop them, and it is based on the concept of the competitions. Liberty is in favor of competitions, equality is in favor of cooperations. Liberty is against of restrictions, equality is in favor of restrictions. Liberty is related to the individual and equality is related to the society. So how we can say that equality and liberty are complementary? Positive liberal maintains that liberty and equality are complementary to each other. The state was assigned the task of correcting the social and economic imbalance through legislation and regulations. We can enjoy the liberty through the legislation and regulations, and legislation and regulations are the basic features of equality. The supporters of this viewpoints are Rousseau, Maitland, Teesgen, etc. Liberty as equality of opportunity, which means that opportunity should be given to everyone to realize the implications of his personality. It means equality will guarantee the development of the personality. If there is a provisions of equality, then liberty can be enjoyed properly. Without equality, liberty cannot be enjoyed properly. The liberty of the weak depends upon the restraints of the strong, and that the poor upon the restraints of the rich. The liberty of the weak depends upon the restraint of the strong. If someone becoming more strong, then for the liberty of the weaker sections, restrictions are essentials. It means equality must be given to both, then everyone will able to enjoy the concept of liberty. Liberty demands that none should be placed at the mercy of others. If anyone is developing with his liberty, it means that he is exploiting the others. He is discriminating the others. So why at the cost of the discrimination of others, some person will be developed? So if we think the real liberty, then there must be real equality. By securing opportunities for all to be the best slaves, liberty makes equality real. Without liberty, equality lapses into dull uniformity. A society which permits gross inequalities cannot secure political or civil liberty. If there is more inequality, then there would not be liberty. If there is a social inequality, people cannot enjoy liberty. So these are some concepts which is related to the equality, liberty, and justice. Now, the question asked by one of my students about the Marxist concept of equality. So give importance on this part. In Marxist-Leninist philosophy, equality is defined as abolition of classes and equal social status for all. So when we think, when we state as Marxist, it means that it is advocated by Karl Marx, Engels, Lenin, Stalin, and Mao Zedong. These are some Marxist group. So according to Marxist-Leninist philosophy, according to Marxist-Leninist philosophy, equality is defined as abolition of classes and equal status for all. So Marxists believe that equality means abolition of classes. and give equal social status and abolition of classes. These two concepts you must have to keep in your kept in your mind. It denotes identical conditions. It denotes identical conditions of the peoples in society, but having different contexts in the different historical epochs and among different classes. Epochs means period, historical periods. It denotes identical conditions of peoples in a society, but having different contexts in different historical epoch and among different classes. In liberal society, equality has been taken as equality before law, while exploitations of the man by man, economic and political inequality, and the actual absence of the right of the working peoples remains intact. So, Marxists believe that in a liberal society, equality is not maintained. Equality has not been maintained. Inequality always remain intact when we think according to the liberal concept of equality, which is based on the concept of giving, which is based on the concept of equality before law or equal rights to everyone. Liberal theory persists the right of every man own property, but main thing is relations to the means of production is not taken into account. Marxists believe that if we think about the equality, we must pay importance. We must have to pay importance on the means of productions. Who make it? Means of productions. Marxists possess the premises whether economic equality in the sphere of the production, distribution, and consuming material wealth, political equality, a class, national or international relations, or cultural identity is given importance or not. Marx said that if we think about the equality, we must think about the production, exchange, and distribution patterns in every aspect. When there is equality in production, exchange, and distributions, there will be the real equality. As Marx wrote, we want to abolish classes, and this is the sense we are for equality. What is the meaning of equality according to Marx? That if we able to abolish the classes, elimination of the classes, eliminate the rich and poor concept, then it is the equality. Similarly, Engels wrote that demand for equality has either been the spontaneous reactions against the crying of social inequalities, against the contracts between rich and poor, feudal and lords, serf and slaves, and masters, serf feeders and the starving. As we know, the society, the historical materialism, it said that the society is consisted of two classes. Sometimes it is the haves and haves not, rich and poor, or we can say ruler and rule, king and peoples, the landlords and land labor, industrial owner and industrial labor, etc. Among them, they feels this the second group of peoples, those whom we can categorize under haves not. The haves not groups, they have been realizing the concept of inequalities. If we able to eliminate these discriminations, then there will be real equality according to Marx. The demand has arisen as a reaction against the bourgeois. Bourgeois means this is the capitalist group, this is the industrialist group. The demand has arisen as a reaction against the bourgeois demand for equality and serving as an agitational means in the order to stir up the working class against the capitalists. In both cases, the demand is for the abolition of classes. In the same vein, Lenin felt that only the abolition of classes will achieve social equality and help promote all-round development of the human personality. So, not think too much about the Marxist concept, but you should keep in mind that Marxist equality is based on some criteria. First one is abolitions of the private ownership, that means of private ownership of the means of productions. Number one. Number two, Marxist equality is based on the concept of end of human exploitations. Number three, Marxist equality is based on the concept of elimination of classes. And number four, Marxist equality is based on the concept of eradication of all political cultural discriminations against the proletariat. eradication of all political and cultural discriminations against the proletariat. So another concept we have to discuss. What is this another concept? Then what is Marxist democracy? In Marxist theory, a new democratic society will arise through the organized actions of an international working class, enfranchising the entire populations and freeing up humans to act without being bound to the labor market. It means that Marxist democracy based on the concept of the actions of the working class, without being bound to labor market. It means give the rights of the working class. Rights of the working class are the core issue of Marxist democracy. Secondly, to emancipate not only the working class from the bourgeois, but also the society from the state. So Marxist democracy, the second view is that Marxist democracies try to emancipate the working class from the bourgeois, and it wanted to make free the society from the state. So stateless democracy and classless democracy were are the main aim of Marxist democracy. The Marxist traditions contains 4 characteristic features which tend to contradict the participatory procedure most Marxists profess to desire. These features are the view of Marxism as a science yielding objective solutions to the social and political dilemmas. The messianic aspirations for a society of perfect unity. Number 3, the belief that human rights are not independent moral norms but so much bourgeois ideological nonsense. Number 4, hostility to the market mechanism, which results in a preference of the loyalty plan economy. Then oppositions to the economic system based on the inequality on the alienations and exploitations of the majority by means of the system of wage labor. For the transformation of the society, Marxism considers that a revolutionary process that will lead to a society based on cooperation and the free distribution of goods and provisions of services is necessary. These are the basic concepts. Then internationalism, they believe in the concept of internationalism, which is simultaneously the recognition of the common interest of the worker of the entire world and the need of struggle on a world scale and the goal of abolition of the nations in the transitions to human to a world community. So what is the basic aim of the Marxist democracy is that internationalism, they are in favor of internationalism, which is simultaneously the recognition of the common interest of workers. They try to recognize the common interest of the workers of the world and try to fulfill the need of the workers, need to the struggle of the world scale. And the goal is that abolition of the exploitations not in a state but in the whole world. The knowledge and analysis of the history, the materialistic concept of the history. Marxists work on behalf of the reorganization of the society that will put the end of class divisions. So Marxists believe that if we can able to make such type of society international on the basis of internationalism, on the basis of the abolition of the private property, on the basis of the elimination of the exploitations, then or if we can able to overthrow the class divisions, then there will be a real democracy. The goal is to contribute the constitutions of a movement of all society by creation of an associations. The goal is that the goal of the democratic society is to create an associations in which free development of is the conditions for the free development of all. Free development of the is the conditions for the free development of all. So we should create such type of democracy, such type of state, which development, which democracy will allow free development to is the conditions for the free development of all. Then next is, so the democratic Marxism is Authentic Marxism. Democratic Marxism is authentic Marxism. Now, Marxism emphasizes the necessities of the revolutionary actions, if necessary, for the protection of the rights of the proletariat group, for the protection of the rights of the poor peoples. Revolutionary actions is also recognized by the Marxist democratic thinkers. Loyalty to the movement, not loyalty to any particular doctrine, is the characteristics of the orthodox democratic Marxists. Then come to the summary. From the above discussions, we can sum up the concept of equality as follows. Equality is a value and a principle essentially modern and progressive. It is related to the whole process of modernizations in the form of political egalitarianism. It is also taken as a criterion for radical social change. It is related to the development of democratic politics. Equality can be understood only the context of prevailing inequalities. All human societies are characterized by some form of social inequalities like class, status, caste, power, gender, etc. The rise of liberalism was associated with the fighting against feudal and religious privileges. It talked of only legal equality, which meant two things: rule of law and equality before law. An interesting controversy within the liberalism has been the relation of equality with liberty and justice. While early negative liberalism saw an inherent contradictions between equality and liberty and saw the former as a threat to the latter, positive liberalism believes in the reconciliations between liberty and equality through regulated capitalist economy. Similarly, although philosophers like Rawls have made equality as the basis for their theory of justice, yet they have no hesitations in justifying inequalities, though with the conditions that these inequalities should help the least advantaged in the society. There has been a continuous debate whether adequate equality has been achieved in liberal countries. To a considerable extent, the problem of equality in liberal countries boils down to the complex of relations between politics and economics. Although people are more equal socially than they are before the advent of the welfare state, yet basic inequality in terms of power, prestige, and wealth continues. Then, so we have come to know that the equality can be defined, equality can be realized, equality can be analyzed from different point of view, from liberal point of view, from socialist point of view, from the Marxist point of view, from positive point of view, from negative point of view. So, but we must give importance. Now all the evils, all the conflicts, all the unwanted situations which are which have been come into exist in our society, in the world, it is because of inequality. So it is the duty of everyone, from the individuals, society, to the state or the world government or the international body, to eliminate the inequalities which are the disease to maintain peace, security of the world. So here I am going to stop this class. I have taken this things, concept, and ideology from various sites, from various source, from the study materials of MPS 1 IGNOU, from the internet source, from the Wikipedia, etc. So you can also follow the sources from the various sites. So with here I am going to stop this class. Thank you for your participations, and we will meet again. Okay, thanks.